There is always one in a company, the one who only gives orders to others without doing much and only takes the good parts. My boss is just like that. I am sick and tired of him every day. I am proud to say that I am a very serious person when it comes to my work. I know it's a little bit arrogant of me to say so, but it's true. Thanks to this personality, I am highly evaluated by the company. I have received praise from the bosses I have worked with. I don't know if it's because of that or not, but Henry says stuff like this.
You seem to get a lot of praise, but they're just saying that out of politeness. It's just to motivate people who can't do much work. Do you understand that? You don't really think you're expected to do well on your job, do you?
He says in an unbelievably sarcastic way. I appreciate they praise me for my work. I don't mean to be presumptuous, but I believe they mean what they say.
You are so arrogant, pretending to be humble. If you easily believe their words, you'll get hurt sooner or later. In fact, a person like you, whose only merit is your earnestness, can be found anywhere around here.
My boss wants to discourage me. He would say things like this and snicker at me. Then he goes on.
People who have high expectations for you say the same thing to other people too, and when you don't meet up to their expectations, they will blame you. You're going to get hurt later anyway, so don't take it too seriously.
Even if they say the same thing to other people, it's much better than being told I'm useless. I'm going to keep working hard for those who praise me. I think it's inevitable that I will be blamed for failing to meet expectations. I will do my best to avoid that.
Hey, how cocky are you? I'm your direct boss. Don't you think you should believe what I say? If you're going to be arrogant just because you're expected to do well, I'm going to take you right off the career track.
He would often threaten me like this. There are a lot of female bosses here, and I'm trying to do my best. At first, I thought Henry was scary, but as I got used to it, I just think he's a pain in the butt. I don't care what he says to me. I don't have to worry at all. I'm playing with the anticipation of what he's going to say next, on a day when I'm tired. As I said at the beginning, I get really fed up when he complains to me when I'm tired, so sometimes I have to talk back. You can say whatever you want to me, but you should be careful how you talk.
You really are a cocky, aren't you? I don't care how I talk to you. That's up to me.
Yes, but in this day and age, people are very picky about compliance. Don't expect me to remain silent forever.
What? I don't know what you're thinking, but I don't think you have any proof regarding my statement. For someone who's praised and expected to do so much, you're not very smart.
No, if I really wanted to turn you in, I'll record. I'm thankfully busy right now, so I won't take any action.
You think you can act like that? I'm your boss. What do you think will happen if I abandon you?
I do everything I'm instructed to do. I give top priority to the work you give me. I will gladly accept your guidance on the job, but I will not just listen to you when you deny my personality like this. I can't change that, even if you call me cocky. When I say all this, he usually looks frustrated and then walks away. But still, it's a hassle and a nuisance to deal with him. I don't want him to complain, so I'm not going to cut corners on my work, and I'm getting tangible results. Henry has never once praised me. It would be weird to be praised by him, though. I have a female boss whom I respect very much. I'm working hard to be like her. Someday, I want to take advantage of Henry. Talking like this makes me feel a little better. Thanks for listening. I don't think this situation will change in the future. I'll be glad if you listen. I had quite a mental breakdown today. I'm writing this because I need someone to listen. I actually got a call yesterday and found out that my grandfather was in critical condition. I've been so close to my grandpa, so that news came as quite a shock. My parents are divorced. My father took me in, but he was busy with work, so my grandpa took care of me instead. So my grandpa is like a second father to me. When I got the call, I wanted to rush to him immediately, so I called the company and asked them to let me take a leave of absence. But the really hard part started after that. A few dozen minutes after I called the office to tell them I was taking the day off, I received a phone call from Henry.
What kind of person would take a day off from work because of grandfather's critical condition?
My grandfather is my family. What's wrong with wanting to see him when he's in such a critical condition?
Whatever the reason is, you're not allowed to neglect your work.
I'm not neglecting my work. After the funeral, I'll come back to work as usual.
The funeral is tomorrow, right?
That's right. I'm taking a condolence leave.
Don't be ridiculous. I don't care whose funeral it is. You can't take any leave.
I'm not being ridiculous. So you don't attend anyone's funeral, even if it's your own family?
I'm saying you're not in a position to take any leave yet. You're not in a position where you're allowed to just walk off the job.
Walking off your job is a problem for anyone in any position, but that's not what I'm doing. I just want to attend the funeral. Isn't that completely different from work? Besides, my application has been approved. I don't see any problem.
I said I won't allow it. You're my subordinate. You're supposed to listen to me.
The conversation went on like this. I had no idea what he meant. It's not normal, is it? But he thought he was righteous.
I've always thought you were cocky. If you're going to ignore my commands any longer, I don't need you anymore. You don't have to come back to work after the funeral.
That's what he told me. I was so angry because I didn't understand what he meant. What do you mean I don't have to come to work? Are you firing me? I've never heard of anyone being fired for attending a family member's funeral.
You still don't get it, do you? You must obey your boss, no matter what. We don't need someone like you who just talks back to her boss. You are nothing but poison to the company. So, I'm doing this for the company.
Do you have the right to do that?
Of course. I know you don't take me seriously, but you're going to regret this. Because you talk back to me, you're going to lose your job. It's too late to regret it now.
I heard him laughing so hard on the other end of the phone. Then something snapped in me. I see. Then I will submit my resignation later. With that, I hung up the phone. That was yesterday. I said I was quitting, so I'm really going to quit. Today was a funeral. I'm going to turn in my resignation letter as soon as I come in tomorrow. I told you I have left tangible results for the company. I am sure I'll be useful to other companies as well. I'm sure it'll work at other companies. I'm leaving suddenly, so I'll be out of a job for a while, but I can't work for Henry while I'm looking for a new job. I am sure he will force me to work unreasonably so that I cannot move freely. He said he is going to fire me, but I think I can make my own decision, because no matter how I think about it, it's an unfair dismissal. I'm sure he thinks that if he says it like that, I'll become an obedient subordinate, so I'm going to take advantage of that and quit. I can't wait to see the look of surprise and impatience on his face tomorrow. I don't think he has the authority to fire me. I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks for listening. Wish me luck. I've quit my job. I know it was too much to fight about, and I'm surprised at myself, too. That's what I came here to tell you today. I submitted my resignation to Henry as soon as I arrived at work this morning. He received it and rolled his eyes.
You seriously believed what I said about firing you? It was just part of the instruction, of course. After all, you didn't come to work, but you are trying to obey my order by resigning, aren't you? Well, I'll let you off the hook this time. There will be no next time.
He said those things to me without even listening to me. He said no words of condolence to me, who lost grandfather, so I said to him, I'm not following your orders. I made a decision to resign by myself. My boss got impatient and laughed it off.
What are you being so serious about? I already told you I forgive you. Don't say any more strange things. Why don't you get on with today's work?
My job today is to pack up my personal belongings.
You? How long are you going to keep on fooling around? You're going to get hurt if you don't stop this.
What's going to happen to me? What's more than being told I'm fired? I made the decision on my own, but you were the one who asked me to resign, right? Please accept my resignation letter. I told him that and packed up my personal belongings. I gave a quick goodbye to the people at work. I walked out of the company. No matter how impatient that boss was, it's none of my business. I think it's arrogant of me to think that the company would suffer for my loss, but I hope Henry is at least aware that he lost one of his best subordinates. My grandfather passed away, and it still hurts. Well, I'll be fine. The truth is, I wanted to do something else. I think of it as a career change for a step up. Whether it works out or not is up to me. I'll do my best, so I hope you'll support me. My job search is going well, and I have a final interview coming up, and there's one more thing I wanted to talk to you about today. Actually, I got a call from that sarcastic boss. It was about a week after I quit the company.
Hey, how long are you going to be absent from work? You're about to use up your paid days off.
I was surprised at his words. What are you talking about? I did give you my resignation letter, didn't I?
I didn't accept it. I waited for you until you calmed down. I still have your resignation letter, so come back soon.
He said something impossible again in his usual commanding tone, so I told him how I felt. That's impossible. I'm already looking for a new job, and I have no intention of going back.
Just come back.
You're not my boss anymore. I don't have to listen to your orders.
When I told my supervisor that you were quitting, he got mad at me. They all had high expectation for you. They wanted me to make sure you come back.
His tone instantly became weak. What does this all mean?
I'll be in trouble if you don't come back, and if they find out that I made you quit, that would be a big problem.
I see, but don't worry. I won't tell your boss because it's too much trouble.
That's not the point. If you don't come to work, they will think it's my fault. The people around me also think I'm too hard on you. That's why, if you quit, I'm in trouble. I told them you're taking paid days off.
I was deeply disgusted by him. You are so selfish. I have already told you that I have no intention of going back. If you try to keep me any longer, I'll call the labor department.
Please come back. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry for the way I've been treating you, so please help me. I can't afford to lose my reputation at the company any more than I already have.
This was the first apology from him. I was at a loss, but that didn't change how I felt. I see. Then I accept your apology. However, I will not withdraw my resignation. If you don't accept my resignation immediately, it will affect my job search. If things don't go well because of you, I will report everything to my superiors.
What should I do then? If you don't come back, I will be demoted. Even if you don't say anything to them, they'll say I made you quit. And if that happens, I'll be punished.
Even on the phone, I could tell he was freaking out, but I thought he deserved it. I don't care if you'll be punished because of my resignation. You deserve it. I have no obligation to help you, considering all the things you have said to me in the past.
But you said you'd accept my apology.
If you force me to stay any longer, I won't even accept your apology. Either way, this is the last time I will be in contact with you like this.
Please, Lily.
Oh, you know my name. I've always been called you. I'm surprised.
Of course I know your name. You're my subordinate. I don't want that to change.
No, that's impossible. You can forget my name now. I don't remember your name either. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy with many things. Thank you for all you have done for me.
Wait, I beg you to reconsider. From now on, I will not be arrogant towards you.
If you don't change your attitude, not only toward me, but toward everyone, the same thing will happen again. I hope it doesn't happen again. I told him that and hung up the phone. I was able to tell them everything I wanted to say. I felt better. It seems that Henry is actually already getting what he deserves. After the call from him, I was a little concerned. I got in touch with my former coworker. I heard that Henry has been demoted, and he was told that they will fire you if he makes someone quit again for the same reason. After that, Henry is like a different person. He seems to have changed his mind about his work. I hope there will be no more victims. I just pray that there will be no more victims. Well, I think he's probably feeling sorry for what he did. Too bad I can't see it in person, but I don't want to get involved anymore. I'm glad I quit. I'm going to use that boss as a lesson to me. I'm going to make the best of it. So, I hope you will continue to watch over me.